outings this year. He's been kind of like a little bit like Miguel Diaz has. Every time Miguel Diaz comes into a baseball game, it's like soft hit, and then you look at the ERA and the numbers are up. Chatwood's kind of been kind of a tough luck type guy this year for them, and I think he threw the ball really well today.
What did you think of the quality of the bat?
For our club, in general, it wasn't great. I mean, part of that's like built on how he's throwing the baseball. If we're going to grow as a club, like laying off that curveball in the dirt with 2 strikes is big for us, and we chased it plenty of times, and we never really strung together a lot of good at-bats. Part of that's the guys throwing 95 to 97 with a good cutter and a good curveball, and I think he was on today.
Is that normal for younger teams in general, being more susceptible to the slower stuff?
It just depends on the hitter, really. I think Alan Cordoba seems to sit pretty decently on right-handed breaking balls and takes good passes at him usually and has good at-bats. I mean, he's as young as you get. And there's guys that just hit fastballs very well. So I think it varies hitter to hitter.
Did you foresee this kind of power from Austin Hedges and kind of, I guess, where did it come from? Is it how much of it has to do with that leg kick he added last year?
Obviously, that's probably a big part of it. And he comes out of nowhere last year and hits 20 home runs, and he's on pace for every bit of that this year. So for him, he's timing and rhythm guy. If he's on time, he hits balls incredibly hard. He's a guy who does handle a fastball and a cutter pretty well. He hit the fastball up and in from Marquez yesterday. Hits the cutter out over today. I think he's having pretty consistently good at bats in the last 4 or 5 games out there. He's starting to heat back up.
It had been several days since Diaz pitched. What did you see from today, and is it a challenge trying to get him in games to get him work?
Honestly, it's horrible luck today. He gets a ball that dribbles to the first base side into that no man's land where Charlie Blackmon flies down the line, and he gets another cheap hit to the other side, and gets a pop-up foul territory. Cheap hit being the ground ball that goes through when we switched coverage on the bag. It was double play ball in a lot of instances. So he gets a ground ball right at the shortstop, a little ground ball in no man's land, and then gets a pop-up foul. He ends up giving up 2 earned runs. That's kid threw the ball well today. His stuff looks good. His arm's alive. He's at 98. It is hard, I think, for any club when you run off a string of wins. You're going to look up, and whoever their long man is, they don't give any opportunities in those stretches because you're winning baseball games. It goes to the back end of the bullpen. So for him and Craig Stammen, both have, in my mind, thrown the ball pretty well lately. They just haven't had a lot of opportunity recently. So I think in due time he's going to continue to get more opportunity, and I think he looks good.